What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Now, this is a very interesting character. On the surface, she just looks like an exact match of Jean Grey. On the surface. But of course, in the Marvel Universe, things aren't always as they seem. And you throw in a little bit of Mr. Sinister, and a little bit of genetic cloning, and we have Madeline Pryor. But of course, in this universe, you know that a lot of things are intertwined with a lot of superheroes and supervillains. But I'm not going to spoil it, but just know that it is a very convoluted storyline. Nevertheless, I will give you this one small spoiler. This character was actually married to Scott Summers at one point, and that's a pretty twisted relationship. You'll see when you read the comic. Nevertheless, Madeline Pryor is absolutely fascinating. So today we're going to be reviewing Diamond Select Toys' version of the Goblin Queen, part of the Marvel Gallery statues. Let's take a closer look. Now, unless you're a die-hard comic book reader, this might seem like an obscure character, but nevertheless, she is incredibly important. That's why I really love this statue. Apart from the fact that it's very impressive, the head sculpt is beautiful here. I love the hair, and you can definitely see echoes of Jean Grey. Countenance in the face is great, love the makeup, and most importantly, I love those green eyes, giving her a sense of those demonic powers. This is really awesome, guys. Everything looks clean and neat. I love the head sculpt here. Now, this wonderful attention to detail also extends to the midsection and upper torso of this piece. Now, there have been a lot of versions of the costume for the Goblin Queen, and this is definitely one of my favorites. In terms of the color palette, it is especially nice. I love the gold trims, especially offset against that nice high shine of that wonderful deep purple. Skin tone is also very nice. Again, it's very subtle in the musculature, but extremely sexy, especially in her abdominal area, opening up to her upper chest, which looks really great, guys. The shading here is also done very well. It looks very organic. I like that they did this. It's really a nice refresh for her costume. The lower section of this piece is probably one of my most favorite aspects, and again, it really highlights the wonderful finish on that deep purple. But most importantly, what I really like is the musculature on the legs and that beautiful graphic. And it's done in a lighter shade of purple that really stands out and offset against that deep purple. This thing is really awesome, guys, and it gives it another layer of detail. The stance is also done very well. It's very sexy. She's got one leg raised. It looks awesome, guys. In terms of art style and direction, I really love it. Now, this is definitely a piece that you want to mirror because there's so much detail on the reverse side. The hair strands of the sculpt are really nice, and you get a real sense of diamondism here. The color palette is magnificent. I also love the differences in the tones and the highlights. The cape is magnificent, and I love that it's a different shade of purple. I really like how tattered and worn the cape looks, particularly with the tears, which are perfectly circular, I might add. You also get this really nice sense of fan service, which is just peering through, and you get a greater sense of how she attaches to the base. Definitely mirror this one. And speaking of the base, I really have to commend Diamond Select Toys here. This thing is simply awesome. In terms of art style and direction, this is one of the more unique bases that I've ever seen. The Goblin is superbly sculpted. I love the fact that he's green. It really offsets against the entire statue because it is purple. The contrast is done very well. I love the translucent plumes. It looks really nice as she's about to conjure up her demonic powers. And just take a look at the way the Goblin is grabbing one of the skulls. They are very well sculpted and incredibly detailed. And the best thing, minuscule footprint in relation to the statue. Now, I know that this piece is readily available and relatively priced. Nevertheless, it's still going to get my highest rating. It's definitely a holy grail piece. And the reason I do so is because this is not one of the more popular Marvel characters. If you're not an avid reader, you would see her as very obscure, and you never know when they're going to produce more. So definitely pick this one up, guys. I highly recommend it. Now, before I go, I just want to thank FMB Collectibles Incorporated for sponsoring today's video, and Big Bad Toy Store for sending this wonderful piece over for review. And if you're interested in this and other collectibles, please visit www.bigbadtoystore.com. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Diamond Select Toys' version of the Goblin Queen, part of the Marvel Gallery statues. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.